Chapter 4: The Atomic Vanguard. While the skies of Europe paralyzed under current and smoke, they didn't build matrix grids, and they didn't rely on chemical salts. They built their dominance on the split atom, ready to enforce an absolute global order. The final countdown was initiated, a supreme order to wipe the stagnant networks of the past away in a single blinding flash of mass destruction. They didn't strike to liberate. They struck to deter, splitting the bedrock of reality to force the world to bow to the new sun. The atom was split. A new sun born on Earth. A devastating thermal wave that erased their chemical defense systems in a single blinding second. The infantry advanced through the dead zones. Lead-shielded squads can low, immune to the pollution, securing the radioactive perimeter. Out of the soot came the cleansers, desperate to choke the nuclear vanguard with an empire of pollution. But lead armor does not dissolve. Total collision. The power of the split atom crashing head-on against the unyielding wall of chemical defiance.
My weapon is corroded. The nuclear eyes are active. Release the final secondary reserves. If the sky belongs to the west, then poison the oceans.
Payload is multiplied. A global chemical shield raised to poison the sky until their new atomic sun goes dark forever.
The entire sector is blinded. We have lost the signal of Platoon 7. The chemical interference has created a permanent fallout blackout.
When the sun rose, nothing remained but a total radioactive stalemate. A cold peace maintained by absolute fear of The nuclear frontier concludes, and the electric resistance begins. The infiltration was absolute. The eastern chemical mist had penetrated the deepest foundations of the western grid. No one was prepared for an underground naval assault. The defensive perimeters were useless against an enemy that moved through the Earth. One by one, the main energy nodes failed. The atomic mass that fueled the West was being systematically suffocated by an empire of soot. Through the darkness marched the cleansers, heavily shielded soldiers immune to the fallout, carrying the primal fury of combustion. The machinery could not breathe. Without clean air to cool the processors, the automated defense network became nothing but cold iron corpses. Defensive line was suffocating. The Atomic Vanguard was fighting against a wall of pure pollution.
The magnetic shielding is collapsing. The radiation is backlashing into our own underground barracks.
The archway is breached. The old regime's brutal machines closed in on the heart of the nuclear revolution.
They think they can choke the atom, but they forgot that mass doesn't just exist in reactors. It exists in our will to resist.
If the sky belongs to the pollution, then the atom will take the Earth. Ground mass energy. 1 million rads of raw current released directly through the bedrock, frying the entire eastern front line in a single instant. The tanks exploded from within. The ground itself became the ultimate executioner of the eastern invasion.
The underground counterstrike completely paralyzed the Eastern leadership. The fallout wave had failed to secure the split atom.
When the sun broke through the soot, the outpost had survived. The land was scarred, but the nuclear vanguard remained unbroken. But as the front celebrated, a deeper conflict was being manufactured in the West. A rogue science faction that did not want to share the grid. They wanted to control it. The fallout invasion was over. But the war for the skies had just begun. The first chapter of the electric revolution ends, and the race for supersonic dominance accelerates into the clouds. Will the network of peace survive the incoming shadow from the skies, or will the Earth burn in a war of electric gods? Deep within the closed cities of the desert mountains, the rogue scientists built a weapon that could cross continents without ever refueling. Core powered by liquid mercury rectifiers, capable of generating an electromagnetic field that can deflect any conventional projectile. Commander Vane looked upon his creation not just as a weapon of defense, but as the tool that would force the world to bow to the new order. The hangar doors opened to the freezing night.
The final sequence for global deployment was initiated.
Without a single sound, the Titan lifted, a floating fortress operating on pure anti-gravitational electrical current. It entered the sky like a new god, moving toward the capitals of the East to claim absolute ownership of the global grid. The interception failed. The defensive shields of the Nevada Titan absorbed the current, turning their own weapons into useless static.
My controls are locked! The Empire's shield is backlashing into my own engine core! I'm losing altitude!
Total vaporization. A single strike of purple chemical plasma, erasing the defense forces from the sky.
The eastern perimeter is clear. Advance the Armada to the coordinates of Berlin. Prepare the primary grid shutdown sequence. But Berlin was no longer safe. The shadow from the west was already arriving, choking their grid before the ships could even be seen.
A hostile energy wave surged through the bedrock, hijacking the very lines that the Alliance fought to liberate.
Will the nuclear vanguard find a way to short-circuit?
The war for supersonic energy dominance has just begun.